apart the passion. Pick apart the passion. Pick the passion. Pick the passion. Pick apart the passion. Pick apart the passion. 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 Pick apart the passion. Passion. Pick apart the passion. Pick apart the passion. Pick the passion. Pick the passion. Pick apart the passion. Pick apart the passion. Passion. Pick apart the passion. Passion. Pick apart the passion. Pick apart the passion. Pick the passion. Pick the passion. Pick apart the passion. Pick apart the passion. Passion. Pick apart the passion. Pick apart the passion.
Yeah, welcome to Pick Apart the Passion podcast. I'm your host, Tayamu Denku. This is brought to you by Cypher Dem Music, Jab Kai Media. Shouts to my dude, Rambunctious, who is the creator of Pick Apart the Passion podcast. And tonight, we have the homie. We have an amazing performer. We have an amazing MC. We got D-Nick of the Microphone Misfitz. Only one counterpart of the crew, but he's in the house. He's going to talk about some things. D-Nick, how the fuck are you doing?
I'm good, brother. I'm good, man. How you doing, man?
I am good. I just got some weird, crazy things happening right before I came over here. I found out my lady actually is positive for COVID, and I am negative. Very strange. I mean, we don't stay in the same house, so I guess it can be a thing. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. But it is what it is. Prayers out to her.
Shout out to her, man. She holds you down, man. And congrats to you. Let me wipe my feet on the rug before I come in here, man. Congrats to you. With your situation with 100 Mad and all of the stuff you're doing, man. Like, salute, always inspired, always like, oh snap, like we gotta get on it. My man Dinku is on it. He's back, motherfucker. Tayamo is here. So props to you, my guy.
Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you to the fullest. We obviously have a history that goes back not too far, but far enough to where I would say that I know you a little bit. Hopefully I'll get to know you some more on this podcast. And also, you and your group, the Microphone Misfitz, to me, have one of the dopest live shows in hip hop I've ever seen in my life.
Thank you, man. Thank you, man.
Yeah, it's very inspiring to see y'all rock. You bring all the elements. I love the style that y'all bring. Yeah, man, it's I love rocking shows with y'all. I love bringing y'all out here. I hope we do some more in the near future. And we still have to get a track under the belt at some point in time, but I'm sure it will happen.
We most definitely will. It was, one of our most signature songs is Speaking in Existence. So I'm gonna speak it in existence. We will definitely do that. Definitely.
All right, man. But how are you doing? How are you doing this evening? Is it just as cold in Chicago as it is here? I'm just
Oh
wondering.
yeah. Oh yeah. It's Midwest, man. You know how it is in this region. And y'all is like Chicago's cousins. So it's freezing out there, I'm sure, and it's freezing like out here. It's funny. We usually hit the road in February. Is usually our sweet spot for tour time. What's that? That's first quarter. That's still first quarter,
Yeah.
and because people don't like to come to the Midwest in the wintertime. So like we good for a February run in in the Midwest.
That's
And
that's what we did. That's what we did together, right? In
yeah,
2020 before the whole shit happened.
yeah. We that's our thing, So you know,
Yeah,
yeah, man.
that was a dope fun run, and y'all definitely give me the hardest words out of anybody in when I ask for words in the freestyle at the end. Y'all give me the hardest ones I ever had in my life.
I'm gonna shift that blame to my partner in Ron the Ray alike. He was just like, yo, it was almost like a competition amongst us in the group. He was like, yo, I'm a mess Dinku up. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna hit him with these massage terms, because Ray Light is a massage therapist. And it was like, man, hold up. I got a big vocabulary. I can trip up Dinku too now. It was less of a competition with you and more of a competition amongst us. And Mel L, our DJ, he was like, hold on, I taught science in Michigan. No, I got words. So it was like it was more on us than it was a challenge for you.
Yeah. But that was a fun run, man. I remember it very well. Y'all killed every show. Shouts out to all the venues that we were able to hit during that run. I know we were briefly talked about maybe doing something this next year. It is a possibility. I just have to make sure that I don't have anything lined up with the 100 Mad homies
Right.
like overseas. But
Right.
if none of that happens, I would love to get down with y'all because I think it's like a bread and butter mix, to be honest.
Yeah, man. And it's interesting, man. Like again, thank you for the compliments on our stage show. And a lot of people, I'm on Dinku's podcast, so I can talk my shit. A lot of people don't like to follow us. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people get real funny about that. And you among with a small few others, like really, like that's never a concern. That's never, because you do your thing. And that's, I think people miss, like, okay, like they're this big ensemble group, and but I'm gonna do my thing, which is different from their thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And all you got to do is do your thing well, like, because we've had to follow big old jam bands and stuff like that. That's why we were like always up in the ante for ourselves, because it was like, whoa,
I did a full tour with Carnage the Executioner, and following that dude, if you can follow that dude, you can follow anybody. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, he's a monster. He is a monster. Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. Like, it's just like, man, people don't, man, step your performance game up, y'all. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's
for real.
It's not like for real.
It's lacking. It's lacking today. Because a lot of people don't they don't specialize in the performance no more. Now it feels like a lot of these people's performances jumps into that whole standard where they're able to rap over their entire tracks and shit like that going on. I see it everywhere I go. Actually, the entire every opening act, I don't give a fuck. Like you said, it's my podcast. I talk my shit. every single opening act for the Onyx show before me and Onyx hit the stage in Springfield rapped over their vocals. There was even a cat that I saw that literally his entire show was auto-tune singing. His microphone was here. Hold on, can you see? It's like this.
Yeah.
The microphone was here the whole performance. He didn't even need a mic in his hand. He could have just lip sang to the crowd. But this is the fucked up part about it. He had the whole crowd there, dog. The entire crowd up front fucking with his shit. And I'm just like, what is happening?
Hey, shouts out to him, man. Maybe maybe he struck a chord.
I don't understand it. I don't get it. And then I go on. I mean, they fucked with me. They fucked with me heavy. So, you know, no disrespect at all to the crowd.
Yeah.
The crowd fucked with me heavy. It seemed like the crowd did fuck with Onyx, but I feel like a majority of that crowd was there for their people that hit the stage early on, and literally every single one of them over the vocals. I didn't even hear any of their voices. I swear to God, barely any.
Well, man, that's a thing in itself, man. You know, I as someone who teaches hip hop, you know, for lack of a better term, you know, like in schools and stuff like that, you know, along with our crew, you're not just hip hop, but performance in general. I actually have learned to understand where that comes from. Like for us being a little older, it was the stage and we earned our way to the recording booth. They start recording and that almost earns their way to the stage, you know. So they have a different trajectory, you know, like that's why that's why I love like teaching in the performance arts, because it's reciprocal, because I learned. Like I was able to put that together. It's like, oh, y'all don't come from the talent shows and the open mics and the gong type of gigs and all of that type. Y'all don't come from the get booed off stage if you whack or people snatching the mic from you. Y'all from a totally different thing. And you know, it's their thing. You know what I'm saying? Like yeah, you know, I don't do it, but you know, who's to say? Some people could say I don't do it because I can't do it. I can't do a good show robbing over my vocals. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So like,
I couldn't do it either, to be completely honest. Cause I even hate shooting music videos. I hate having to memorize that shit and you know, I usually rap over it.
Yeah.
But that's what I do for music videos to make sure it lines up properly. And I hate doing that shit. I hate doing it. But you know, to each their own who can do it. The thing is, it's not for me. It's not for a lot of the hip hop audience that is in our age range or our generation. It's not really in that area. It's mostly a younger generation thing from what I've noticed. But yeah, man. But you know, let's not go there and diss all that. We're here to talk about you, talk about the Misfits. So let's do this. Let's how about, can you introduce the members? Basically, for people who are unfamiliar, introduce the members of the Microphone Misfits.
Okay, Sinister Six. You have Jet 9, aka Jet 9. You know, he's b-boy extraordinaire. Defects, you know, powerhouse b-boy as well. Ken Solo, the baby of the bunch, you know, big up to Ken Solo. On the decks, you have Mel L, the misfit among misfits. You have the symbol of elevation, always the highest person in the room, the ray of light, partner in rhyme, the one with the X Factor bringing the octane, and the visionary and artistic director and lead vocalist of the group, myself, D-Nick, the microphone misfit. And that's the Sinister Six of the group, you know. That's
There
us.
it is. There it is. Have I actually met every member? I don't know. I don't know if I met all of y'all.
I think in sporadic situations, you met I think you have.
Was everybody at the Mega Ran show? Was everybody at that?
Who's missing? You know what? You met Solo when we did the he performed with us when we did the Schoolie D thing. And
okay.
Jet was not in Milwaukee. Defects was there. So yeah, so like probably sporadically, like it's six of us, man. So you know what I'm saying, coordinating six schedules. You know, that's why we got some really special shows coming up, man. It's been a minute. Like I was talking to Jet not too long ago. I was like, man, it's been 3 years since all six of us have been on stage together. In 2019, that's gonna change this December. You know what I'm saying? Because we got some dope shows coming up. So I'm looking forward to that. You know.
Word. Can you shout those shows out right now, real quick?
Yeah, we'll be at well, first off, we'll be doing PocketCon December 4th. That's a virtual show. So it's called PocketCon, so be on the lookout for that link. You can look at Microphone Misfits or go to microphonemisfits.com to get all of that stuff. You know, for PocketCon, December 4th, it's a virtual show. C2E2, December 10th at McCormick Place in downtown Chicago, more so the South Loop. C2E2. We're at 845 at McCormick Place. And then at Rosemont, you know, at the Hyatt in Rosemont, Con Alt Delete in Rosemont, Illinois, December 17th, 18th, and 19th. We'll be there all 3 days. The big show is December 17th. And again, the name of that event is Con Alt Delete. It's in Rosemont, Illinois at the Hyatt. And you can find all of that stuff on the microphonemisfits.com.
That is super dope, man. For all those out there tuning in, if you heard all them shows, otherwise you can replay it after the episode's over, but make sure to check out Microphone Misfits because they were an amazing live show. There's no way that you won't enjoy their live show is basically what I'm saying. So yes, that's super dope, man. I recently, I got back from a little tour run earlier. It was my first time testing the waters out there since pre-pandemic. And the thing I found was aside from, wearing the masks indoors here and there, we wore masks at every show because trying to keep my lady safe and stuff like that. But there was only one show that I played, and it was in Portland, Maine, where I actually had to show my Vax card. That was the only time I had to actually do that. And my thing is I don't care if you get it or not. It's everybody's choice. I don't feel like people should be forced to get that at all. My reasoning for getting it is not really so much to keep myself safe, but I want to tour overseas. And I feel like it's not even a possibility if you don't have it to be able to go overseas. So that was my main thing behind it. Obviously, I want to keep my children and stuff safe like that. So, of
course.
But it's I found that I didn't really feel like it was a huge damper. I actually felt that the shows that I've done lately have been more successful as far as merch. Because it's been so long that people have been able to get out to a live show and see shit like that. So I feel like a lot of these shows that I've done recently have been very successful for me merch wise.
Yeah, man. It's also things that I've noticed because I was not afraid of catching the heebie jeebies. I was I was more concerned about like cancellations because as a road warrior, like
Oh yeah.
any your days off is days that money's coming out and money's not coming in. So you don't really, for me, like in the crew, we don't really want too many days off on the road. It just didn't seem I wasn't comfortable with that. So we've been doing stuff in the general Midwest area, doing a lot of festivals and a lot of like comic conventions and whatnot.
That's dope.
But what I've learned, speaking when you talk about the merch being great, what I learned, I think our first show was Juneteenth, when the world got off punishment. We did a Juneteenth event, and then the next one was like Anime Midwest, and then we were just smashing festivals and outdoor events and all of that. There wasn't as many scenesters. And you know what I mean when I say scenesters, those people that don't really want to engage, they're just coming. They're coming there because it's the place to be. You know what I'm saying? They just want to be in the place to be, but they don't want to really engage. Like a lot of those people were scared to come out or just didn't come out. Like everybody that came out, events may have been smaller, in scale, but people that came out were people that really wanted to support. Not a lot of scenesters, not a lot of scenesters at all. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I did see. I think I saw footage from what was that happened this summer? What was the big festival that's always there? It wasn't It wasn't Lollapalooza, right? Was it?
Was that we did? It wasn't Lollapalooza.
Like the big I saw footage not from a festival that y'all did, but from a festival that I saw where it seemed like everybody was at that motherfucker. Like it was like one of the real big festivals, and people were like, "Oh, I don't know if there should be that many people gathering there."
Oh, that was Lollapalooza. Yeah, that was Lollapalooza.
Yeah.
And that was some sucker shit too. When people talk that stuff, because what people don't understand, they don't know the economic makeup of Chicago. You know what I'm saying? In Chicago, there's a fine arts tax. You know what I'm saying? It's a fine arts tax. They tax those type of events and whatnot. And so that money went to CPS, like Chicago Public Schools. You know what I'm saying? Like a piece of that money went to Chicago Public Schools. So when you wonder, like, why do certain schools get Mac labs and certain schools don't? Well, yeah, obviously we know the residency, the neighborhood taxes, and all of that type of stuff that goes into play. But if you want to boost up your shit, that comes from live events. So like at least the way it is done in this city. So like when you see like events and festivals like the neighborhood festivals, those things are designed to help, the community. Like the artists are really doing a public service as well, besides entertaining the crowd. So when people would be like, "Man, that's irresponsible," da 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 da. Okay, motherfucker, say that shit when your kid got a janky ass Chromebook when they got to do their virtual learning. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's it's reciprocal. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that type of stuff. I was seeing that. I kept my mouth shut. I was like, all right, I ain't gonna argue with these people because I don't really engage in stuff like that online. Yeah. But I just had to point that out because people was like, "Oh no," it's like, man, you're not from, you don't live here and you're not from it. So you don't know what this like.
Yeah. Okay, so let's dig way back to the roots real quick. Let's talk. Let's dig back and let me find out when D Nick, the microphone misfit, found his passion in hip hop and performance. When was it? Was there a specific moment you remember where something was like, or was it built up over time? Yeah.
Man, performance was built up over time. Since I was a kid, I watched TV. I'm originally from Flint, Michigan. Shout out to everybody in Fly City.
Okay.
So I was born and raised in Flint, Michigan. Myself and Mel L, our DJ.
Yeah, I remember him telling me that actually the last little run we did. He was telling me about it a little bit.
Yeah, we come from there, and so performance has always been in our DNA. Like, we actually started doing theater. Doing theater. So all my vocal training and vocal like stylings and articulation, like that came from theater. And my baby brother, is he had a speech impediment, and so so his vocal, training, helping him, like I work with him. So like so that's an extra added bonus. Shout out to Chicken Man, and so that all was cooking anyway. Mel is a singer, like too. Mel can sing 5-part harmony. That joker can sing high and he can sing bass. I don't know too many people that can sing bass. He's a bass singer. When you hear that layering of certain things at our stage shows or even on our records, that's not an effect. That's Mel singing that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, when you hear the, without further ado, no filler, that's Mel. So when we so as far as hip hop, I've always been a hip hop head. Like I just grew up in it and always loved it. I always felt like it was the best representation I would see in media of Black people at the time, because it was at the time coming up in the 90s, 80s, and 90s. You could see Public Enemy, 2 Live Crew, NWA, and Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince all in the same boat, and it would be like, oh, that's all of us. That's all of us. We are that. We are that. We are that. You know what I'm saying? So that was always kind of cool in terms of representation for me. Professionally, when it really sparked, I moved to Chicago. That's why I always show love to Chicago, represent Chicago to the fullest. As my adopted home and the birthplace of the microphone Misfitz. I came to college, and I got in a battle. You know what I'm saying? I got in a battle. Funny enough, I was freestyling around campus just because, we do that. And my pedigree in acting was improvisation. Me and Mel were improv actors and stuff. So when it came to freestyling and battling, we really excelled at that in the crew. It was like 2003. Back when the Source was a real big thing, there was a campus combat battle. The winner of the campus combat battle would be in the unsigned hype. And I had friends that had a rap group, and I entered the battle because it was on our campus, and I knew the dudes that was promoting it. So I was like, oh man, I can, get their demo out there. Akon, months before he came out, was on that tour, and Black Moon was on that tour. You know what I'm saying? Oh, okay. And Alchemist. It was Akon, Black Moon, and Alchemist. And they flaked. They didn't give me the demo in time. They didn't get it up here. So I'm stuck in this battle. And I came in third. And the people on my campus felt like I was robbed, because they had me battle 20 guys at the same time. So it was D-Nick versus 20 rappers. You know what I'm saying? And so, yeah, it like literally, I think DJ B-Boy Ron Ron has the tape, or my old DJ P Proper. One of them has the tape, but it was B-Nick versus 20 rappers, and I made it one round. You know, I beat the 20 guys in one round, and I lost in the second round, and it was in the campus newspaper, like, yo, B-Nick got robbed, but you know, da da da. He was our champion and all that. So DePaul University, like, and more so the Bear Gazette, because on the Bear campus, the Bear Bulldogs, they bigged us up, and it came legend. And so campus parties, you know, they want to battle you, they want to test you, and it's like, oh, you so nice, you battled 20 dudes at one time, and I took that as a badge of honor. Like, man, I battled 20 MCs at one time, you know, all of that stuff. Like, so it became that, and that happened in October, the beginning of October, the end of October. I got in another battle because Naughty by Nature was performing at DePaul University, and Tretch was sick or something, or had asthma or something. He was on a pump. So they would do a song, he would run backstage. Vinny called two people up to battle. So it was me and this dude, we battled, I beat dude, and so and then they let me freestyle on stage with Naughty by Nature, and like I'm backstage with Naughty by Nature. This is my first, like...
Pause real quick. Isn't it crazy? Isn't it crazy that that's how fucking hip hop shit used to be? Like that shit ain't happening nowadays, man. Seriously. It ain't happening nowadays. All right, go ahead. I didn't want to supercut it, but go ahead.
No, but it's funny. So you're gonna laugh at this next part. Yeah, man. I do that. Tretch is on his pump. I remember like it was yesterday. I'm backstage. My crew that I went to the concert with, Pete Proper and Young DRU, those are still my brothers to this day. Misfitz, family and affiliates. You know what I'm saying? Like they were Drew's in Milwaukee, in fact. I'm backstage, Tretch is on the pump, and he's like, put your demo in the bag. I promise someone will listen to it. And I was like, man, I don't have a demo. And he's like, you slipping on your pimping. You nice, you should keep at it. And then they had one way in and one way out. And so somebody comes back and is like, yo, we gotta go out this way. And Vinny and I don't know if it was KG or if they had someone filling in for KG as they DJ, was like, you good? He's like, he took one big breath. He was like, let's go. And they ran out, and then the crowd ran after them. But my people stayed waiting for me to come from backstage. So Lonely Demon come from backstage, and it was like, yo, you just rap on Naughty by Nature and all this. And Mel had just came back from Iraq War, because Mel's a Marine veteran. He was back in Michigan. I instantly get on the phone with Mel, and I'm freaking out. Like, I'm just like, yo, Mel, we gotta record a demo. It's a gift from God. It's a calling from God. I was straight up on my Blues Brothers Dan Aykroyd shit, man. I was just like, yo, because I didn't know how to count bars. Like, I knew how to rhyme, but I didn't know song structure. The only person I ever knew that understood music from a technical level was Mel. And Mel was like, yo, we finna forget that. We finna do something more than we ain't gonna do no demo. We're gonna do we're gonna do a whole mixtape project or whatever. And that became the launching point, you know. That was the launching point.
Yeah, man. Well, that's super dope story right there. I think on that note, I wanted to actually play one of my favorite singles from y'all, and then I want to come back and I want to talk about how you guys structure a song, how you figure out what you're gonna do on a show around a song and stuff like that, so we can get more of an idea of like that. But I want to play the joint "It's On."
Okay.
Like I love this joint.
Shout out to
Yeah.
Big Herc.
Oh yes, shouts to Big Herc. I am also, he's done some work for me as well. But yes, Big Herc is a monster with the graphics, with the animation, with all that.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's run It's On. This Pick Apart the Passion podcast. We're sitting here with D Nick, the microphone Misfitz, and we'll come right back and we'll keep it going. It's
Let's
on.
do it.
Mel L ready to go, then it's on. Ken Solo ready to go, then it's on. Ray Light ready to go, then it's on. Misfitz in the house tonight, we in the zone. Mike Noble ready to go, yo, it's on. Jet 9 ready to go, yo, it's on. D Nickel ready to go, yo, it's on. Misfitz rock the spot tonight, so come on. Because the Lord can't reach you. Break bread with brothers on break beats, build peeps when the unity strong, we all eat. Through the art from respect, wisdom we all seek. When I speak, melt the flesh of your body and burn me, that's heat. Heat will do more than rise. Hopefully it will inspire, open your eyes. Surprise, didn't expect to be enlightened. Content with your ignorance, how pathetic and frightening. All your people need to go and reevaluate. Understand just who it is you captivate. Responsibility, oh yeah, we have to take. Cause it is us that the little children emulate. That reason alone. Microphone Misfits ain't repping it wrong. Beauty skin deep but ugly is to the bone. So we come fully equipped with sticks and stones. Ready to break you down and remake you. Better, and better until they hate you. I wish more could witness the breakthrough. I hope you're prepared for where we're about to take you. Mel L ready to go, then it's on. Ken Solo ready to go, then it's on. Ray Light ready to go, then it's on. Misfits in the house tonight, we in the zone. Mike Noble ready to go, yo, it's on. Jet 9 ready to go, yo, it's on. D Nickel ready to go, yo, it's on. Misfits rock the spot tonight, so come on. Because the Lord can't reach you.
We in the place to be, so everybody, come on.
Without further ado, no filler or hesitation. The fists will come together to give you a presentation. We hope that you will partake
Without no debate,
in what we create. Kick snares, horn,
808s,
digging in the crates.
searching for the breaks,
Confronted by the hate,
but respected by the greats.
raising all the stakes.
By doing what it takes,
Burn bumps, bruises,
and the aches.
represent the real.
Surrounded by the fakes,
Sharks in the water,
grass filled with
they
snakes.
used to sleep on the fence.
Now they all wait.
Man, I mean, there's so much energy there. I mean, how do you? It must just be, from being a part of the culture for so long. But how do you keep that golden era vibe in the music? Is what I'm wondering, because it's hard to capture that. Being surrounded by what's in hip hop today. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to capture what you guys capture.
Man, you know what? We come from B-boy and B-girl culture. So like it's interesting, like to put a specific, like, okay, Jet, Defects, and Solo, they're full members of the group. They're not backup dancers. They're full members of the group. Like there's signature people that you have to see. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to see myself. You got to see Ray. You got to see Mel. And not to say that they're expendable. They're not. They're full members of the group, and they bring that energy and that aesthetic, as well as we come from that too. That's just not our trade, like our stock and trade. That's not our premier focused element. But Ray's a B-boy. I'm a B-boy. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
Jet and Defects are graffiti artists. Solo's a DJ. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm a DJ. Mel is an MC too. You know what I'm saying? He'll bust cats ass on the mic. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it's
It's just crazy to me, because I feel like obviously growing up, being heavy into hip hop, I feel like this is something that I was used to. I was used to having all the elements around at the same time and being
Mhm.
around that and seeing ciphers on the corners and seeing things like this happen growing up. And then I feel like it hit a certain age where I know I barely ever saw that anymore. I would see it in little segments at, like, you know, some real hip hop festivals. Like even 2x2 Fest example.
Yeah.
You know, I see it there, and that reminds me of like a Scribble Jam era, because I used to go to Scribble Jam. So that reminds me of that era. But the music itself and what you guys bring to your live show, it reminds me of that time. And it's super dope to me. And that's why I think I love it so much, because it brings me back to when I truly loved, that was around constantly, that there was constant, you know, all elements together working together. Now you go to a show and you just hear, you know, some rapper fucking up or or like, you know what I'm saying, you won't see all the things, and like you guys bring all those elements there. You know, you bring the b-boy element there. You bring the energy, the emceeing, you know, it's all there. It's all there.
I I always wanted to rhyme how they dance. And they're kind of like, aside from visually being like primarily being dancers in the crew, like those cats are like, they're like A&Rs. You know what I'm saying? They're like A&Rs for the group. You know, like we indie. Let's keep it 100. So we got to do double duty. You know what I'm saying? On all fronts.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Mel is our, you know, DJ, but he's also like our road manager. You know what I'm saying? Like he makes sure he's a military dude, so he makes sure that we where we need to be when we need to be it. You know what I'm saying? Those dudes are like, you know, Jet, Defects, and Solo. They're they're dancers, but they also are like security. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like who gonna mess with like three ninjas right there? You know what I'm saying? You know, I'm the lead like MC, but I'm the artistic director and kind of set us on a path and a visionary, and gives our structure. He's our X factor. You know what I'm saying? Like people, it's hard to quantify what he does, but he's the X factor. He can get us in places that we can't necessarily get in with our own personal disposition. He's the X factor. And those roles have to be understood and respected because they've always been in hip hop. I think when it comes to the business, you know, people that are primarily in the dance business, they separate it that way, you know, and then, you know, like, and then obviously, you know, hip hop got his haters. So you get people who will say to me, oh, you wouldn't be shit. They wouldn't say it to my face. They just say it in the rumblings in the background. But you hear the rumblings is like, you know, he wouldn't be nice if it wasn't for all the bells and whistles. What? You know what I'm saying? Or you get people that be like, oh, y'all just backup dancers for D-Nick and Ray. What? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, nah, we a family, G. You know what I'm saying?
And that's when you go up to him and be like, motherfucker, did you ever hear about the time that I battled 20 motherfucking rappers?
Right. But that's the unfortunate thing about that's possibly why you don't see groups that often. You know what I'm saying? Because people get caught up into the superficiality on top of the business and all of the personality management that you got to do with everybody. But like one part of the issue is it's just like fighting all of that. But see, with us, man, we don't believe our hype and nobody else's. We just do work, and we know like we're stronger together than we are separate. You know what I'm saying? We understand that, like, you know, the things happen and stuff like that, you know, but we still hold each other down, and we make ways. Like even if you don't see Jet as often in recent, because he had family stuff he's had to do in like a couple of years, but we talk to Jet regularly. You know what I'm saying? You may not see him, you may not have seen him on stage with us in 3 years, but we talk to Jet. Like we don't go a week without talking to Jay. He's funneled resources to us, and we've helped each other out. We it's a family business as far as we concerned. You know, also got to shout out our producers, Mike Noble and, you know, the Mecca of Beats, MK, DJ Mar and you know, Harley Hustle and DJ Chief, who's just kind of got into the fold, as well as the extended family. Our family keep growing. Like it's the 6 group members, but it's so many people like your Bob Rocks, your T-Rexes, and, you know, like all like-minded misfits come together, you know what I'm saying? That, you know, we just move that way and keep it family and keep it reciprocal and don't really sweat any of that stuff. And we want to do the music we want to do. And also from a business aspect, because this never gets talked about in hip hop, man, you know, if you're doing hip hop music for hip hop people, like you can't class them out. They're the dancers. Like that community is they put the move in the movement, literally. So like I want to do music for them. You know what I'm saying? Like you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I feel that,
You
man.
know?
Do you feel like there was ever a time or not that there was ever a time. Let me rephrase. Do you think that that you finally found your signature style at some point in time? Like, did you used to rhyme differently back in the day, or did you always have the same energy on the mic that you have? Like you said you want to rhyme like the dancers dance, and that's super dope to me. Did you always have that signature style, or did you used to rhyme differently?
I used to rhyme differently. It evolved as I was going to more battles. I would like breaking battles. I was noticing the separation. I was noticing me and DJ Chief, gotta big him up again. He's actually the DJ that kind of broke us. You know what I'm saying? He's a DJ in Florida. He's a Red Bull BC1 DJ in Florida, B-Boy Sounds, the whole nine. He kind of really broke us, him and DJ Khaled Rio. But we talked about this before. Like, I started hearing, you know, you've always heard the soul breaks, you know, but like hip hop had music that did that too. Like there wasn't many, you go to battles, you don't hear many rap records. You know what I'm saying? At breaking battles. And I'm like, huh. And you would probably hear it in the beginning of the night or in
like what? Like Know the Ledge? I mean, that's
and it just is like, Know the Ledge again. Like, you know, love it.
Yep.
You know, but Jesus Christ, you know what I'm saying?
Where are the other ones? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you'll hear Mobb Deep, you know what I'm saying, in the beginning of the show or in the cool down moment of the battle. And then you realize like, man, nobody's really, there isn't that many rap records that's coming out that is like of a blast off type of sound. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yep.
You know, there's cats that put joints out there, you know, Sandman and J5 and all of them, like they, you know, that, but there wasn't consistently like people like rap records that have blast off type of records for people to get down. It was like, oh man, I want to do that. And man, those things like took off. Those are the records that really caught fire for us and how people started to know us. And then it was like, wait a minute, they got breakers in their group? Like that are actually members of the group? It's not, you know what I'm saying? It's like, whoa, that's different. That's cool. Like, what is 6 of them? You know what I'm saying? Really? You know, first it was like, whoa, it's 4 of them? Wait, it's 5? Now it's 6? Oh my goodness. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so it worked like that, you know. And that just got successful, and those were the records that kind of took off, and you know, it was actually kind of smart, you know what I'm saying? Business wise, it made business sense, you know. Like I'm not one of those people that subscribe to if it's culture, it can't be business. It can be both, and it should be both. It should blend. You should do good business, and you should uplift your culture, whatever you see that to be. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, those are the records that were successful. They embraced us, and we fuck with those that fuck with us. You know, and this is who we are. It ain't phony. We are this. We do this. This is who we are. So, you know, like, yeah, man, so that's where that all comes into play and kind of, you know, circles.
Yeah, explain that that overseas experience. What was that, 2018, right?
Yes.
Yeah, explain that, because that sounded like it was an amazing thing in itself.
Dude, I felt like a bum that won $1 million. Man, you talk about work. So myself, Jet, and Defects. So I got I had this lecture series and lecture and workshop series with the Chinese leadership department at NIU, Northern Illinois University, way out in DeKalb. So I would, you know, I would do these lectures and workshops, and you know, we would, you know, it was called the workshop and the lecture was called Hip Hop for Social Change. I inherited from DJ Manowak. Shout out to him. He put me down, and it was doing it for years. And so over the year, like I did it for like 5 years. So it'd be like 30 foreign exchange students from China. Also did it with the Filipino leadership department too. So was doing those for 5 years. You know, they paid me and an assistant to come out. So I would grab my brothers. I would grab Jet and Defects, sometimes solo. We would all go out there and we would do a workshop all day, lecture, and then writing workshop. And, you know, and English ain't their first language. So we would do an MC workshop with vocal projection and writing. They would do a dance workshop, all of that. NIU started buying, well, the department, I should say, would buy our albums and T-shirts and stuff in bulk and give it to them. You know, so 5 years, we do it 3 times a year. It's anywhere from 30 to 60 foreign exchange students. They only in the country for 2 weeks. You know what I'm saying? And they go back, never to come back again. You know what I'm saying? So our legend grew. We grew a fan base over there. And one day I remember we had a show right after. Like we had a show in the city right after. So we did the lecture and we went straight to the show. And a guy with this group of students that came in, a guy who was a promoter of, you know, the promoter of festivals and stuff, he flew in with the students. He came with them as like a chaperone. And he got contact information down. I was like, would you ever want to go to China and all of this? And I was like, yeah. You know, but they always say that. Would you ever want to go to China? He was like, of course.
Yeah.
I'm not thinking nothing of it. And I remember talking to Defect. She was like, man, you think that guy's going to invite us, going to get us over there? I was like, man, they always say that. And man, in our booking email, it was like, D-Nick, you are hereby invited to the Telecommunications Music Festival in Chongqing, and we would like to coordinate the tour and event for you all. And I was like, whoa, we got official invite. And all I'm thinking, the first thing that come to my mind is like, fuck, how am I gonna get the crew out here? You know what I'm saying? So my brain is already in fundraiser mode and figuring out sponsorship. And then it was like, how many in your party would be traveling with you? I was like, oh, snap. We sent them the number. And they was like, cool, have everybody scan passports and da-da-da-da. And we went out there. Our whole itinerary was in Cantonese and Mandarin. Like, so we didn't know what that shit said. It was a woman who was actually working out there. She, I got hooked up through NIU. She was actually out there. She translated it for me. And she was like, oh my God, your first show is the big festival. Says you're headlining. It's like, what? You know what I'm saying? We did all of that. The day we got there is the day we rocked. There was like, that's like almost that's like a 18-hour flight. You know what I'm saying?
How many people in the crowd?
2,000 people. And when we see the stage, it's a soccer stadium. And, we're like, what the heck is this? It's like, I'm like, man, I think I even said in the documentary, I was like, man, I'd be happy if it's 10. They paying for us to come out here. They finna get a hell of a show. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And man, that joint filled up, and we was just like, whoa, like we was blown away. It was the first time that I actually froze a bit. Like, I usually start the shows. I start the banter and all that stuff. Ray was on 10. Like, if you watch the clip of the very first show at that big festival, I don't say nothing at first because I'm like, really? Ray is just like, yeah, he's the X Factor. So he's doing all of that. He's like, Chongqing, hands up, hi Jedi, which is make some noise in Cantonese. We learned phrases and stuff, so he learned how to say make some noise and all of that stuff. And I'm just like, they're loud, they're roaring. We didn't even do nothing. I didn't say nothing. And Ray kind of looks at me like a quick glance, like, you know how you have conversations on stage without having conversations.
Yeah.
It was like, start the show, D. And I was like, all right, man, let's do it. That beat drops. I didn't think the people could get in it. It just was like, whoosh, a roar. It was, like I said, I felt like a bum that won $1 million. I was homeless, and then someone dropped me $1 million, and I got a house and a car and all of that.
That sounds amazing, man. It sounds like an amazing experience. It's crazy. It's crazy to me that you guys naturally just like built a fan base over years out there. Like they knew who y'all were and shit. Like, that's crazy.
That blew my mind. I mean,
and that's the thing. Like you never really know, man. I randomly look at my I'm at like my Spotify numbers and shit, and I have more of a fan base overseas than in the States, period. But I wouldn't even know where to start. Like, if I went overseas and somebody is at a show and they're rapping my shit, I'd be tripping. I would seriously be tripping.
Dude, and then add that to the fact that United States hip hop is illegal over there.
Yeah.
That's even more crazy. It was like, whoa. Like, we had to get embassy clearances, not embassy, like Chinese government clearances that stamped as like they are approved to go over. We had to get every lyric approved. I've never had to send my lyrics in our set list to people to approve it.
Yeah, see, they wouldn't let me over there. I talk too much shit in my shit.
Yo, that was the thing, man. Everybody was like, before we went out there, everybody was just like, man, don't let nothing happen to Ray. Don't let nothing happen to Ray.
Yeah, man. Well, that's super dope, man. Let's jump forward now just a little bit. I don't want to keep you too much longer, but let's jump forward into this this Midwest anime EP that y'all put out actually in
2020.
It was during the pandemic time. So a lot of people were hesitant. Once the pandemic hit and came to put out projects. I found out a lot of people were hesitant. I definitely was not. I think I put out 3 records that year. Cause I said fuck it, and I was ready to go. My entire tour schedule was canceled. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna keep working. If I can't do shows, fuck it. I'm gonna make as much music as I can, so I'm ready to go when shit's back to some type of normalcy. You know what I'm saying? So I just kept making music, kept doing shit. But you guys put this out in 2020, and it looks like a lot of tributes to anime on there.
Yeah.
So what inspired this? Was it just all the anime? Y'all all anime heads?
Not all of us, but I'd say 50% of us. Defects, Solo, and Jet definitely. Mel and Ray not so much. Me, I'm in the middle, which worked out. You know what I'm saying? Which I think gave it a good balance. Like, whenever we dabble into the nerdcore genre of rap, the focus the focus is always like, don't be corny, don't do nothing corny, don't do nothing corny. It's don't do nothing corny, So that was cool. Like Mel is always he's always a good associate producer for all of that type of stuff, and helps support the vision. Just helps support the vision the way, like, okay, this is the plan. We going with D. All right, cool. Ray and everybody else is like, all right, if this is what we doing, all right, I'm rocking. And the breakers, Jet, Defects, and Solo, particularly Defects and Solo in this case, were really instrumental in A&R and this kind of thing. It came about because before the pandemic, we had got booked for Anime Midwest. We got booked to perform at Anime Midwest, and they asked us to do something in regards to like that. And us being us, it was like, we ain't gonna do one song. We're gonna do a whole 4-song EP. We really started, we was gonna do 3 songs. And then Daryl Spicy, who's one of our comic book artists, he was just like, he was the video for Race Against Time came first, because Daryl Spicy is just like, man, I'm trying to do a video, man, like, I'm trying to get on Herc level and all of this. And and he wasn't good at mouth movements and animation. But he was good at other stuff. So it's like we was talking about things that he's good at, and he could do cars, and then it kind of started clicking to me. I was like, oh snap. And DJ Chief did the beat. Mike Noble did the rest of the EP, but DJ Chief did the Race Against Time joint. So like they kind of really produced that record, and then like we're just like, oh, we do a Speed Racer tribute. I like Speed Racer. I know Speed Racer. Let's do that. And so I went to the retro anime that I liked, and Cowboy Bebop and Gatchaman, which is my favorite, Lupin the Third, and all of that. And Mega Ran, we weren't going to put it out. We were going to hold it and wait till the world opened up. But shout out to Mega Ran. He debuted Cowboy because he was interviewing the voice cast on his Twitch, the voice cast of Cowboy Bebop. And we was just talking. He was like, y'all got anything new? And he was like, yo, man, we got this song and da-da-da-da. He's like, oh man, can I play this for the voice actors? Like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? And so we heard him put that joint out, and then people just start asking, yo, y'all got a project coming out? What's going on? And da-da-da-da. So we put it out, and it was weird because we never, we're indie. We ain't got no big marketing budget anything we do got, we exhaust that like putting together a comic book. So we put that out, and we let the record cook. And the record, the records was cooking. It was cooking. It was getting real popular, and it was like, oh man. And when the world got off punishment, we took to the stage 2021, and it was just like, whoa, and people were excited to see. And it was different for me, but cool. It will never, we put it out and we're off performing it. That was the first time we put something out and we just watch it cook and then perform it like months later. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
yeah, speaking of that, let's actually play that. That's one of my favorite joints off there is the Cowboy Bebop joint. Okay. And then so let's play this. And then we'll come back and I want to know your favorite after that. And then we'll play that joint to lead us out. But yes, I'm gonna play Cowboy Bebop. I'm Pick Apart the Passion podcast. We're sitting here with D Nick and the microphone Misfitz. Let's run it.
Hunt for the right commission. Fugitive, criminal, suckers that don't listen. Whether you need support, enforcer, or recovery, step up, pay the bounty, we are at your luxury. Follow the clues, no sense in ducking me. To get my bottom line, you gotta be my guarantee. Hook crook, we working in transparency to make sure I don't handle the job incoherently. Best believe this is far from personal. I do what I do, but never ever been merciful. This deception is this is about you and things that you do, attention that you drew. Your POV of what you pursue, the caution that you ignore, and trouble you explore, just to make sure that we're on the same accord. This is about nothing more than my reward.
Big stakes, high risk, good pay, quick fix. Take the lumps and the licks. Despite the tricks, we in the mix.
Cowboy after the AWOL, all for one, none for y'all. Test your skills, try your luck. Miss the bounty, pass the buck. Cowboy after the AWOL, all for one, none for y'all. Test your skills, try your luck. Miss the bounty, pass the buck.
He said the job was a goal. The game been tripping for a while and it's lacking a soul. Time to bring it back alive while we travel the globe. Don't worry, hip-hop, we got it under control. Overlooking talent that's right up under your nose. Selling a dream, I want these labels exposed. We fresh on the trail as soon as they made bail. Low-key a misfit hit is sure to raise hell. Bullshit is afoot, you can tell by the smell. My Uzi weighs a ton, go and put it on the scale. We all want the smoke, the tale of all tales. Escaping your demise is like you trying to fail. It's been long enough, now we sick of your nonsense. Playing the game is the only thing we got in common. From the stage to the comics, we stay spitting knowledge. Be bopping along, looking for the next target.
Cowboy after the AWOL, all for one, none for y'all. Test your skills, try your luck. Miss the bounty, pass the buck. Cowboy after the AWOL, all for one, none for y'all. Test your skills, try your luck. Miss the bounty, pass the buck.
Yeah. That is fire right there. That is fire.
Oh man, Mike Noble, M. Cuff, the Mecca of beats, man, he was crazy with the way he flipped the Tank sample and the way he was on them drums. My goodness, Mike, man, I give him that's a beautiful hidden gem we got.
That joint is fire. I love that joint, man. I love the sound. I love the vibe. I don't know if you were familiar. I just recently saw it. I'm probably going to jump into it and check it out at some point in time. Did you see that there's a live person, Cowboy
live action show? Yeah, I knew that was coming. I was pushing to get that record on the show.
Word. I feel
we got close. Here's hoping if it gets to season 2, we, Jah willing,
Yeah, man. Super dope. So were there actually any joints that y'all did that you originally wanted on this that didn't get on it, or were these joints just made specifically for this project?
It was made. It was made specifically for this project. All of them. There's no hidden lost records for the Midwest Anime EP. We're flirting with the idea of doing the Midwest Anime too, because the anime music community and nerdcore community been showing us a lot of love and has really been asking for it. So it's just like, oh man, we're flirting with the idea of doing some more stuff. Yeah, man, but that was a fun record.
Yeah, man.
Mike did the beat. When Mike did the beat, I was like, Mike, this shit is like 120 BPMs. And Mike from Switzerland, he was like, but you rap so fast and you got great breath support. I figured whatever. I was like, it's the first verse is like 20 bars. I guess you could do it. I was like, all right, Mike.
yeah, you got it, son. You got it. That's hilarious. Man. That's hilarious. So what's your favorite joint?
On the Midwest Anime EP?
Yeah.
Oh man, let's see. Picking the favorite kid. Okay. Man, I like him. Man, it's so cliche. I want to give you a definitive answer. I like him. You know what? My favorite one would probably be Gatchaman. I like Cowboy and Race Against Time is my 2 favorite to perform. But I guess the one that like musically speaks to me is Gatchaman.
Word.
Yeah.
That's what's up. So yeah, let's end on that one. We'll play that one. We'll come back. We'll talk to you a little bit about what's coming next for the Microphone Misfits. I'll have you drop your socials and everything like that, and then we'll let you get on with your night, sir.
Cool.
But yeah, so let's play Gatchaman. Right here, Pick Apart the Passion podcast, Microphone Misfits. Yeah, let's get into it.
We unable to adapt, supported or unbacked, we ready for your attack. No respect when greeted, warnings when unheeded, ignored and mistreated, watch, rinse, repeated. Resources depleted, oppressed but conceited, we still do what is needed to go undefeated. Oh yeah, we dish out a tongue lashing, never abusive, enormous muscle and compassion. A parachute in case your plane crashing, and a good meal for when you done fasting. So rare to find like-minded individuals that will have your back despite even six. An outfit, a family, far more than a clique. Been that since RIP, hold firm our grip. Always on the move, but never an ego trip. All hands on deck, we protecting the ship. And if there is concern that one of us will slip, never fear, cause together we stand tall.
Got you, man.
Even if I fall.
Got you, man.
Outnumbered in a brawl.
Got you, man.
Even in a free-for-all.
Got you, man.
In it for the long haul.
Got you, man.
Like walls and aerosol.
Got you, man.
Loyalty to protocol.
Got you, man.
Until the final curtain call.
Got you, man.
Together we stand tall.
Got you, man.
Even if I fall.
Got you, man.
Outnumbered in a brawl.
Got you, man.
Even in a free-for-all.
Got you, man.
In it for the long haul.
Got you, man.
Like walls and aerosol.
Got you, man.
Loyalty to protocol.
Got you, man.
Until the final curtain call.
Got you, man.
Get better with age. Yeah, I will embellish with no lines on the page. This is our mantra. If you care to engage, we don't fit in anywhere that is except on stage. Call the wipeout, don't ride the wave. Hard-headed bunch, nope, we'll never cave. One of the first promises that I ever made, never to be a slave to the vice that I crave. Male L, producer, provide the rhythm. Jet, defect, solo, examples of how we hit a ray of light. POV and symbol of elevation. D-Nick, Chief Rocket, artistical curation. Present isolation with positive connotation. Hope to entertain throughout this presentation. That's been our mission ever since our formation. But make no mistake, love is the foundation, cause we
Powerful. That's it right there, man.
Thank you, man.
I'm telling you, you know, I've rocked with a lot of artists on stages. I've rocked with a lot of you know, semi-famous artists I've shared the stage with. But seriously, y'all rock it with, I would never take away from being able to rock with some of the dopest independent hip hop artists, and y'all being part of that, my homie Carnage being part of that.
Yeah.
Like it just makes me think, like, how crazy would it be if money wasn't a thing and we could just orchestrate, like, even just me, you, and me, y'all, and Carnage would be one of the craziest tours ever in life.
Speaking in existence, man.
I mean that would just be crazy, because it would be me being able to do shows every night with two of my favorite live performers that I've ever got to share the stage with. So, you know, maybe it will happen. Maybe we will speak it once upon a time into that existence that you're talking about, because I think that would be super fresh. That would be something that, you know, would live on through me as far as an artist, to take with me, you know, whenever I get to some point where, you know, I feel like I'm just going to play the background. But, you know, right. I don't know when that's going to happen. I'm still very hungry in the music. So,
oh yeah, same.
So yeah, man. But this has been a lot of fun. So what do y'all got coming next?
As far like we said, show wise, we December 4th, you know, PocketCon virtual, and you know, we're doing C2E2 at McCormick Place in Chicago, Comics and Entertainment Expo. It's December 10th, and we're doing Con All Delete December 17th, and we'll be there all weekend. Project-wise, coming in March, we'll be releasing, finally, the follow-up to Escape from Babylon Volume 4. We'll be releasing Escape from Babylon Volume 5. And that will be we'll release that in our 10-year anniversary of doing albums as a group in the comic book. Our first release came out, the first Escape from Babylon came out in 2012. So we got a 10-year anniversary coming up on behalf of, we've been rocking together for longer, but like our first release as a group was in 2012. So we're going to be celebrating that. And sometime after that, not too long, obviously, but within the year, we're going to be doing the deluxe version of the entire Escape from Babylon series We're redoing the artwork for 1 and 2, and we're putting new music and really our whole collection and catalog up to date on that deluxe trade graphic novel. Man, it's a lot of pages. It's going to be a lot of pages. Daryl Spicey been working hard on that book. Shout out to Daryl Spicey and Damian Hampton, man. Spicey been killing it with the deluxe version. And yeah, man, 10 years, 10 years as a group is
That's dope. That's dope. Congratulations to that, man.
Yeah, so March, be on the lookout for that. March, y'all, we definitely gonna be hitting the run. So that's why we ain't got we got some talks. We might do something. We might run around the town in February, but we're really working on Escape from Babylon Volume 5 and just gearing up for that for the deluxe, for the trade paperback anthology collection of all of the Escape from Babylons,
That's super dope, man. Super dope. What's the best way, if people wanted to keep up with what the Microphone Misfits are doing, what's the best way? Is there a best way to keep interactive on social media, like to get a hold of you, or is like a website the best, or what's the best way?
Man, it's so hard to narrow that stuff down. Facebook and Instagram is probably the easiest way to interact with us, and it's just the Microphone Misfits. You can get a direct link to everything on the website and see show schedules on the microphonemisfits.com. That'll plug you to all our social medias and our Instagram. If you just are one of those people that just don't like to use websites, and Instagram and Facebook, Microphone Misfits. We also have a Twitter. We have the whole nine. And everything is just the Microphone Misfits. That's the microphone, and you can get all of that. Our merch, our clothes, like these hoodies, and multiple colors, and t-shirts and caps and all that. The microphonemisfits.com. Music as well. It'll send you straight to our Bandcamp page. So again, that's the microphonemisfits.com. THEMICROPHONEMISFITZ. The Microphone Misfits. Who else could it be?
There you go. Right there. This has been super fun, D-Nick. I enjoyed having you on the show. It's super dope to talk to people that I've directly had a relationship with, that I played shows with and stuff like that. It's always dope, especially since it's been since early 2020 since I've even got to rock a show with y'all. So hopefully we get to change that in 2022. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because I definitely want to get down with y'all again. And like I said, if you ever got something, you need some hard, rugged bars on,
got you.
I'm right here, and definitely I think I'm gonna want to get you on something at some point in time in the near future. So yeah, let's speak that into existence.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Man. So this has been Pick Apart the Passion podcast. I'm your host, Tayamu Denko. It's brought to you by Cypher Den Music, Jab Kai Media. Shouts to my dude again, Rambunctious, who is the creator of Pick Apart the Passion podcast, where it's best to pick apart yourself to get to your passion. And as the words of Rambunctious' father said, is it better to be right or kind? And we'll leave you there with that. This has been the episode 57 with the homie D-Nick, Microphone Misfits. Make sure you check out them if you are not familiar. I swear to God, if you are in the area and they're doing a show, you are not going to want to miss that shit. It is the livest hip-hop show you will ever see. I swear to God, man, it's so dope. It's so fire. And yeah, man, this has been fun. I'm going to let you get on with your night, man.
Thank you, man. Thank you, brother.
Yeah, man. Peace out, man. I'll holler at you.
Peace.